I wrote this in the middle of the night and woke up to it on my laptop. Confused and sleepy, I thought about it for a second and realized that the sleeping part of me was right. A long time ago, I made a theory about how Samuel can see the future. I will show some clips to prove that he can indeed see the future events of Life is Strange Season 1.
What do you think happened to her?
Best not to dwell on the past. Samuel looks forward, like a clock.
He also says this, inferring that he knows what you need to do before you even know what you need to do.
And watch your step around here, Max. After I sweep, I paint.
Basically giving you a hint on how to dump paint on Victoria. Which, does that mean he knew what was happening before it happened?
I have 0 science skills to explain that eclipse.
As I was just saying to her, that's because science has no explanation. Well, no offense to Miss Grant here, but this is just the beginning.
Beginning of what?
Oh, I don't believe anything ever ends. Especially time. That's why I can sense something bigger is coming to Arcadia Bay. And Max, I don't like it at all.
I'm sorry. I better get going now.
But also pay attention to how he sees the future.
If anybody knows, it will be you. My dreams tell me that.
But...
Max, all I can tell you is to stay on your path and you'll find what you're looking for. Rachel Amber is waiting too.
Interesting. But you know who else has prophetic dreams? Chloe. In a previous video, I note that the Raven gave Chloe a prophetic dream at the end of Before the Storm, episode 1. The Raven shows Rachel on fire in the dream, long before Rachel actually sets the whole forest on fire. It's prophetic, and proves some magical intervention. The Raven also shows Chloe where Rachel is.
You made a new friend today.
Of all the places she could look for Rachel, the Raven showed Chloe that Rachel was standing in front of a tree. If you look in the journal during the stream, you can see some references to the distant future with Max. A drawing of Max wearing her clothes in the events of Life is Strange, and some text that infer that Max won't see Chloe until she's dead. Which is true, Max doesn't see Chloe until she dies. So this proves the Raven can see that far ahead in time, all the way to the events up and through Life is Strange. In Life is Strange Season 1, you can see squirrels everywhere, representing Samuel's spirit animal. In Before the Storm Episode 1, you can see the crow watching over everyone as well. It could very well be that Samuel was spoken to in the same way Chloe was spoken to in her dreams. Samuel's job was to guide Max, while Chloe's job is to guide Rachel. Many other people are also assumed to have spirit animals of sorts that guide them through the series. On a side note, maybe if you want to take inspiration from Native American culture in order to tell a story, there should be some Native American characters as well. I love and respect the Life is Strange series, but I also recognize that cultural appropriation is an issue that happens in media sometimes. Anyway, I believe all these spirit animals are actually parts of the same being, the energies that make up the will of Arcadia Bay, and that these energies manifest themselves in different animals and forms in order to communicate and guide the residents of Arcadia Bay. Which is why Arcadia Bay gives Samuel prophetic dreams, why it also gives Chloe prophetic dreams, each in their own animalistic way. And as a side note, you can see giant squirrels in Max's nightmare that is also weirdly prophetic, and Max goes, "This is for Samuel," maybe proving that the dreams can interconnect between people who get messages from Arcadia Bay. I also think that people who die tragic deaths become a part of Arcadia Bay, or Arcadia Bay lends them its power in order to help them resolve their unfinished business. An example being the deer in Life is Strange Season 1 being a manifestation of Rachel's will to be found. The deer is shown to you over where Rachel is buried in Episode 2, and in Episode 4, when you uncover her body, the deer spirit fades away, as if to show that Rachel can now pass on in peace, knowing that her death will not be forgotten by the woman she loved. She didn't want Chloe to die, never knowing what happened to her. Maybe that was Rachel's unfinished business, to let Chloe know that she never abandoned her, but rather was taken away. Since William also died a tragic death, I think he is indeed the crow that Arcadia Bay is manifesting itself into. In Stacy's video about the Tempest and Before the Storm, she points out that Prospero manipulated some events so that his daughter would fall in love. Maybe William's unfinished business is to simply see that Chloe finds love, even if he can see danger and misfortune in her future. Love was important to him.
Why are you crying, sweetheart?
Because you're not real.
I'm not.
What is going on? What's past is prologue and shit.
Kiddo, look on the bright side, would ya?
What bright side?
You made a new friend today. Gotta say, that was some fight. A lover's quarrel, you might say? She nearly took your head off.
What do you care?
Sorry, sweetheart. I guess I'm getting into your personal business. Sometimes, people need you, though. Even when they don't admit it.
I said this before, but the best way I can explain it is the Force ghosts like in Star Wars. You become a ghost that is also part of the Force is what makes it possible for you to be a ghost. It gives you powers, but in the end you are still enacting the will of the Force. So, too long didn't read. Samuel has the same prophetic dreams as Chloe, proving there is an overarching power that manipulates and communicates with the residents of Arcadia Bay. For more thoughts on this, watch this other video of me saying more nuts shit.